video. So today we're doing some country pop. Sounds a bit like this. Alright, so where it started for this one was I came up with some chords on my guitar. Very simple chords. We've got a G, E minor 7, B minor, to a C add 9. So I was happy with that, that sounded very good. However, I couldn't really be bothered to record it, get microphones out, mic up my acoustic and all that kind of stuff. So I just chucked on a Contact strummed acoustic 2. We're on the wide open C setting and I just programmed the chords in, which sounded like this. So boom, we got our chords in there on our acoustic guitar. Next, I wanted to add like a top line above that, and because we're doing country, I decided to add a mandolin. What I did is I found a splice loop that was kind of close-ish to what I wanted, the kind of effect that I was looking for, and I ended up chopping it up to kind of match better with the chords, and together with the acoustic guitar, it ended up sounding like this. Which I thought sounded great, sounded very country indeed, but we wanted to add in some of those pop elements now. So what I did next is I added in an 808 to give it some bounce, and yeah, to give it that pop kind of feel. So that added some real swag into our country kind of vibes. And to double down on some of those pop elements, we started adding our drums in. So as opposed to using like a live drum sound that you might hear in a lot of like country rock, I wanted to add something that sounded a bit more like hip hop. Again, we're going for that country pop as opposed to like pure country or country rock. The drums on their own sound like this. So what we've got is a kick sound in there, and then we've got a clap and a snare sound combined together to give us the kind of main body of the snare sound. I've then, instead of using like a rim shot, I've used like a brush from like a brush kit, which I thought in context with the song sounded great and added to that country kind of element as well. We then got our hats and 2 open hats. I've then added a drum break on top of that, which I've kind of filtered out and distorted, and then we've just got like a classic shaker percussion kind of loop going over the top. So with the 808 and the mandolin and the acoustic and now the drums in, this is what we're sounding like. So I thought that sounded great and I wanted to add a few more country elements in. So what I've done is I've gone back to Splice and I found a pedal steel sample, and also I've added like a banjo pad underneath. So essentially what that is I've chopped up a banjo loop, added loads of reverb and delay to it to make it sound super ethereal, and this is what it sounds like with those 2 elements added over the top. And then what I wanted to do was just really fill everything out, add some more kind of spacey elements over the top. So what I've done is I've added in a couple of pads on top of there, and also like this flute kind of lead sound, which is like super like high up and airy. It's just adding a little bit more kind of sparkle right in the top end, behind the acoustic guitar, behind the mandolin. And yeah, this is what that sounds like. And that was pretty much everything. The last thing that I wanted to do though was work on some of the transitions in between sections. So what I've done is I've added in my impacts, I've added in my risers, I've added in some extra bits of ear candy, some hits that are just going to help the transition between each section sound more kind of definitive. You're going to have a real sense of, okay, now we're moving into the chorus, okay, now we're dropping back down for the verse. And this is what the addition of those elements sounds like. And yeah, that's everything. That's when we get paid and we go buy a boat. I got loads of beats available on my channel across all sorts of different genres. I particularly love producing female pop, but I'm having a real nice time producing this kind of country pop as well. It's very popular right now with artists like Morgan Wallen, Post Malone, Sabrina Carpenter, all dominating the charts. Chappell Roan did a song in this kind of style as well not that long ago. And yeah, I love me some country pop. Feel free to go and check out some of the other beats that I have available on my channel, and if you want to hear breakdowns for those beats as well, feel free to hit me up in the comments. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything now. The last thing to do is to just play you the full beat from the start to the end. Enjoy.